What's going on, guys? Gokuzemi here. I'm here with my good pal Juan Yepes, and he was on Labrynth for today's 3v3. All right, what's good, Juan?
We did real good today in this 3v3. As a team, we went X3. And you know how Labrynth goes. We like to grind it out. So really, I didn't get to finish any match except for one where I 2-0'd somebody. So that was nice.
Let's fucking go.
Aside from that, I didn't think I was doing too bad. Obviously, if I had more time to finish my games, we would have seen how it would have gone. I think I would have at least... Honestly, I would have won maybe... I would have probably gone 2-2 or 3-1. I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
Let's get on to it.
Yeah, we'll start with the main deck. I'll start with the Labrynth stuff, the usual. Pretty standard. 2 lady, 1 lovely. I guess this isn't standard, but most people will play either 3 or 1 depending on like how they're playing it. I'm doing more of the trap lineup, but I don't like seeing her too often, so I'm just doing 2. 3 Ariana, of course. I'm not playing Ariane. 3 Chandra, 3 Stovey, and again I'm doing 2 clocks instead of 3 or 1 just because I kind of wanted to see an even amount and I didn't want to just play one of Ku-Clock in case it gets banished and then I'm kind of sitting stupid there. So that's just the Labrynth monsters real quick.
Why not for the pink normal summon?
Every time I try to play it, it just feels like a win more card. It's like if it resolves, like you're goated, but like the only other time I feel like I want it is it's like if I draw a transaction rollback and I don't have furniture to get it engraved, so it's kind of just like that's the only time I would want to see it. So aside from that, it's like it just feels like win more, and it's such an Ash and Imperm and Valor Magnet that I'm just like, no, I'd rather not even deal with that. I'd rather normal Ariana any other time. And then the usual 3 of each of the welcomes, and I put back the field spell. I was not playing it for a while, but I feel like with a lot of stuff like U-Bell,
You just need the pop.
yeah, there's like a lot of more back road decks and stuff that I'd rather get that non-monster pop and like, you know, get a little bit more value out of my welcome cards. Not that they really need them, but I just like it that way. I know a lot of builds are dropping this, but it's just too good not to play
So
in Labrynth,
gross.
so I don't see why you wouldn't. I put the Callby in just because, you know.
It's called by.
It's Callby. I just don't want to get hit with the Asher Bell. I kept going back and forth on the Nib, whether I wanted to do Ash or Bell or Ghost Ogre in the main, but it's just Nib is so good in this deck with the furniture discard that it's like I just left it in, and it went crazy today. Obviously, versus Snake Eyes, it's just they just don't have things that they can really play around it with, as long as you time it right. And the fact that you can discard it with the furniture, it won't trigger their field spell, so that they can't extend anymore. And it's just like, all right, cool, good to go. 3 Imperm, card is just insane. 3 Daruma Cannon. I used to hate on this card because, I don't know, maybe I was just bad and I just didn't know how to time it well, but golly, at least this format, this card's just so good. Obviously versus Tempais, even if they're unaffected. Not that I versed them. Put in the U-Bells face down so you don't have to worry about all like the damage you might be taking. You just negging battle phases, all that stuff, just like making sure that you survive. It's so good, especially if you get transaction engraved. Even if they destroy it or whatever before it's a good time to use it, you still get to go and just end their turn almost. Speaking of transaction, I'm only running 2. 3 seems like too much. Although I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I would see it more often. So who knows? Maybe that's food for thought. Maybe get another. It's kind of a random trap. I wanted to play one more of like a removal trap because I was thinking of doing Terrors of the Overroot, but I feel like Ice Dragons is just nice right now. No specific reason why. I just like the card. And this one is just for the shits and giggles. Chain Hole. When your opponent activates a monster effect in response to a card or effect activation, negate that opponent's effect, then your opponent can banish one card from their hand or deck with the same original name as the negated card. If they did not, you can banish one random card from their hand. So
Broken.
if they try to ash your welcomes, then you just negate the ash. They have to either dump one from their hand or grave, which, hey, that's another ash that they're less likely to draw, or they have to banish a random one from their hand, and that doesn't have to be only to ash. Like, if they try to Apollosa or, well, I don't know, fucking Skull Guardian, negate whatever you're doing, just chain that. I guess Skull Guardian's a bad idea, but if they, I don't know, Apo, like, they can't send another Apo from deck, obviously, because it's in the extra deck. So they have to banish from their hand, and along with the lovely rips, to me it sounds awesome in theory. Granted, I didn't really see it. So it's not great, but I kind of just see it as another called buy, right? It's like 2 called buys, might as well.
All right, so 40 card list, right?
40 card.
Love to see it.
Yeah, no messing around with nothing else. We'll do the extra deck. Anima, since I'm playing the extravs, you'll see a lot of repeats, but for the most part, this is kind of just because Anima for the Ku Klux. These two, in case you ever need them, like you never know when you might need that kind of targeted out. Never used them. It doesn't really do much. Never got to summon her today. Doesn't do much. Muckraker is obviously insane in this deck with the Chaos Angel not being once per turn on summon. But I didn't really even get to go into her today either, so it's like, all right. 2 of the Buzz King. I like this card. I think it's underrated. But yeah, it just doesn't happen that much that you summon it, so I didn't summon that either. Typhon's obviously really good in this deck. Realistically, I should probably put it at 3, but I never hit every single one with the extravs, so I never feel too bad about it. And then 3 Chaos Angel, because it's Chaos Angel, and it's so good in this deck. And one of these is Trinity's. Here you go. Have fun.
Oh, thank you. You shouldn't have.
Thank you for letting me borrow that.
No problem.
Oh, wait, I don't need that sleeve back. Just kidding. And then side deck real quick is just 3 Bell. I didn't bother with Ash or Ghost Ogre. Honestly, it feels like Droll would have been better today with the kind of stuff I was dealing with, but Bell to me just sounds so good in theory. Negates activation, so versus Tenpai, you can like negate all that stuff that's going on in damage step. I think hitting the Flamberge, attempting to Reborn 2 is just so good in my opinion. Especially if you open like or I guess if you open a board breaker or something like that and just like get it off the field, or just it cuts off a lot of their grind game, and it's just like, I don't know. I like her a lot right now in this format versus U-Bells, all that stuff. I was trying out Lava Golem, but
War Criminal.
but honestly, I didn't even side it in at all today. Oh no, I did side it in, but I didn't see it. I lost most die rolls, and then game 2s I was going first most of the time, and then I never really got to get to a game 3 ever today, so that's kind of just how it went. Like, all our matches ended before we could get to the game 3. So it didn't come up, but to me it sounded good in theory. Hit the Skull Guardian in low, hit the, I don't know, Flamberge and IP or something. Granted, it is not great probably versus Snake Eyes, because you're just giving them a fire so they could still princess you, but I don't know. Didn't even side this in today either, but he sounds good to me in theory.
I like him.
Yeah, didn't put it in at all. But the idea is, like, for Voiceless at least, I really hate that deck. I struggle versus it a lot. Voiceless, this hits Snake Eyes, and I don't know who else.
Something
else. I guess Flu, if you ever see it. I think Tenpai. Does it?
I have no idea. What is this one?
I can't remember. 1500 defense or less.
Okay, yeah,
No,
Tempa.
it doesn't.
No,
My side deck was iffy today. Honestly, the only cards I ever really put in were D-Berry. Like, that card's so good right now.
Ooh, shiny.
But I never saw it. Never really needed it.
Is that fucking Fairy Wind?
And we got the Fairy Wind.
What is this for?
I got hit on Omega with some Fairy Winds with some Paleo Labrynth shenanigans. They Morella'd, I think it is, this thing into Grave, and then they had a transaction, and then they hit me with that. At the time, I was playing Valmonica, testing that, so obviously I have face-up spells all over the place, and it hurt a lot. But sounds good to me in theory versus Voiceless. They have all the face-up spells and traps versus U-Bell. They have all the face-up spells and traps. So it's like,
Owned.
get rid of all that shit. Sounded pretty good versus Snake Eyes Fire King today, but never saw it. So Muslin side deck, never saw it. Aside from that, the main deck I felt like it was doing real well. It's obviously just so consistent. If you time your stuff right and just make sure you can stay alive, like you're gonna outgrind them, except maybe Snake Eyes. Yeah, my round 4 versus Snake Eyes, I Darumed him, Nibiru Stovied him so he didn't get the token, and I think I had like the welcome set up anyways, and it's like he was able to, like, I ended his turn, but then next turn came and he's just able to come back and just poop on me. So aside from that, honestly, I love this deck. I think it's really good. I think it's always underrated, and only versus people that like respect it do you tend to like just get blown out of the water with, obviously, with lightning storms and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically it.
Any shout outs you want to make?
Shout outs to Trinity, the one and only Gokuzemi. Shout out to our teammate Diego.
What's up?
Yeah. Shout out to Easy Gaming for keeping the community going.
The best OTS shop on the East Coast.
Hell yeah.
Not the greatest view of it. We're in the way back.
And then shout out to my lovely wife for buying my cards. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, well, Juan, thanks for coming on and giving us your deck profile.
We're going to do the how to play Labrynth video.
Oh, Pog. Oh,
spoiler?
Oh. All right,
Trinity has not confirmed that.
No, yeah. All right, well, thank you for being with us. This has been Gokuzemi. This is Juan. We're signing off. Peace. Have a good day. Sorry. Shut up. Hey, what's going on, guys? Gokuzemi here. I'm here with my good pal Juan, who is laughing his ass off for no reason right now. I'm redoing that.
Sorry, I can't take myself seriously. All right.
What was that? You looked at me like.
All right.